So to place a trade into the ladder, first of all you would select your stake. So while the stakes get copied across ladders, each individual ladder you nominate your stake. So if we modified this to 100, you can see it modifies to 100 in terms of the staking box. But when you go on each ladder, you can actually select different stakes for each individual selection. So on the favourite here, we're going to use a stake of 10. On the left hand side here, we have the price at which you'd like to back at, and on the right hand side, the price at which you'd like to lay at. So can you see how that's changed from the one-click screen to the ladder interface? They were vertical on the ladder, and they were horizontal on the one-click screen. But basically it's the same odds, just displayed in a different format. So if we want to back at 395, we do not have the ability to back at 395. If we go to the one-click screen, you can see this 395 is somewhere over here. It doesn't exist at the moment. So let's say we try and back at 385 on the ladder. You can see we can say, right, back will go in the left-hand side column because that's blue and it's the back price. If we then click, can you see there that we now have a £10 bet waiting to get matched at 385. We've backed at 385. The best available price to back at is 360. We can see this on the one-click screen here. There you go. So we've placed a back bet in the market and it's waiting to get matched at 385. Now, if we look at the unmatched bets area down here, can you see that that shows in the unmatched bets area? You know, whether you want to have that on your screen or not is entirely your option, because on the ladder interface it appears over here. So this white column is an unmatched bet area. And this makes your life a little bit easier, although it's slightly different from the way you would have used it on the one-click screen. On the one-click screen, if we want to move that from 385 to 390, we can just click on that, and can you see the price has moved up? And if I do it again, it will go up to 395 and 4 and so on. But on the ladder interface, you don't need to do that. What you can actually do is just click on it, hold the mouse down, left click, and move the price down. So you can see that the price has changed. And let's do that again. Move it back to 385. So you can see it's done it again. Hey, it's magic. So this is why I was saying earlier, maybe you want to undock the ladder, because all the information you see to trade is immediately in front of you. So if we wanted to lay at a price that isn't available, we click down here and you can see we lay £10 at 315. So you can see that we've got two orders in the market at different prices. If you wanted to do a make market order, remember we were saying that you back at the current lay price and lay at the current back price when you do that. If we go over here, we can simulate the same thing. Now what's happened there? Well, what we actually did is we laid at the current lay price and backed at the current back price. What you need to do is the opposite here. So dung dung. You need two unmatched bets in the market, and then you can see that if both of those get filled, we will complete our trade. I'll leave those orders there for a second. This is the most common mistake people make, is clicking on both sides and then instantly creating a loss, which is not a very sensible thing to do. But if you want to back at the lay price, you have to back where there is none of these numbers here. And if you want to lay at a price that isn't available, you need to lay where none of these numbers are. So you can see this order is just moving slightly against us. But we'll leave that there for the moment, because hopefully that will get matched in a second. If we look over here, you can see we still have two unmatched bets on the favourite. If we bring up the unmatched bet screen here, you can see confirmation of that down there. And to cancel those, if we don't want those, you just click on it. And you can see if we click on it, it disappears. So you can see here, the only bet that's left in the market for us is this one that we want to get filled at 6.6. So very easy to put trades in on the ladder. If we back up here, you can see the trade goes in. We can move it by dragging and dropping, and we click on it again to cancel it. If you look over here, we're about to get this order filled. But what you'll also notice is down here we have our profit and loss. So this is a bit like the trade profit column that you saw on the one-click screen. This displays your profit and loss. So if we let this position run, this is how much money we will make on the way up. And if we let it go down and it moves against us, this is how much we'll lose. So it's a much more visual representation of a profit and loss. So let me go in there and we'll do that trade again. And if we get these two orders matched, I can show you another characteristic. There we go. So if you look at the scenario that we've got here, our money's been taken at 6.8 but not at 6.6. So what I can do is drag and drop that up to 6.8, and that means when that trade gets matched, we'll actually exit for 0. That's called a scratch trade. If we let our position run, then this is the potential loss that we have. So if we let our position go against us all the way up to 9.6, we would have lost that money. But you can see it's been matched and our position is back to 0. So we haven't made or lost money on this particular market. If we go to match bets, you can see we've laid at 6.6, we've banked at 6.6, and therefore we haven't made any money. And that's what you can see in this column here. This is describing how much profit or loss you're making in the market. So let's do, I was just hoping that maybe the price would come down here. I don't think it will, so we're just going to exit our position. But can you see there's only £17 available at that price? There's 150 here, and we are getting matched, which is quite helpful because it would be nice to kickstart a different trade off here. So can you see actually what we've got here is we've got a slightly partially unmatched bet. There's only £6. We put a £10 bet in, only £4 of that's been taken. We've got £6.29 left. So we can leave that position there, or if we wanted to, we could drag and drop that much further up. If you go to do that and you change your mind, then simply move away until you see that icon on your mouse there, and then let go, and that will not move that trade. I think that this will get matched in a second. So there's only £40 here. We've got £6.29 waiting to get matched. We will end up scratching this trade if that does get matched, and all we need is for somebody to take the money at 6.8. 6.6 will start to get matched, and then that money will disappear. So hopefully that's actually quite a good demonstration of how orders fill, especially if you're looking at them on the ladder. But we want a profitable trade, so I'm going to put a trade in on both sides here. You can see that we put £10 in because we've got a £10 stake here. I clicked here, both of them are going to get matched. Fingers crossed. We're going to have to wait a second. When you're waiting for a trade to get filled, this is what we call fill rate. We're basically saying, how quickly does this order fill? And therefore that's the fill rate. Is it going to take seconds, hours, months, days, weeks, years? Hopefully not. You want to get those trades filled as quickly as possible. The longer you're in the market without those trades getting filled, the more risk you're taking in terms of completing the trade. So we've been filled at 6.8 but not at 6.6. We're going to wait for a few seconds and see if this trade gets filled. In fact, the price has moved up. So what we need to do now is we need to decide, do we move that order and take that small loss, or do we leave that trade there and just and wait for that to get filled? Fingers crossed that the price comes back down again. So again, you can introduce charts into this if you want to. If we look at Sleeping Star, we can see what's happening to the price. It's bouncing along, but generally going out. It's generally drifting. It's going up. So can you see how the chart here, if this is going up, then the price on the ladder is going up, and if this is going down, then the price on the ladder is going down. But also maybe you want to use an advanced chart. Again, you can do all of these things from within the ladder. It's up to you how you want to do those. But we also have the ability to display a chart within the ladder pane. So if I click on this, you can see it actually brings up a little chart over here. And as we move across from one ladder to the next, you can see it basically updates the chart as we're going along. So you may find that helpful. So if we look at the chart on Sleeping Star here, if I use this one, you can see generally that the price has been going tick, 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 and gradually going out. So you have to make a decision at this point about whether you want to hold on to that trade or not. And on this occasion, I suggest that we do not hold on to that trade, and we close that position out. So you can see we've now got a loss on this particular market. Now, if we look at this icon here in the middle of the screen, this shows you what your gross profit is. And if we click on here, this shows you what your net profit is if you hedge this position across the entire market. So you may want to display it like this first, and then you may want to look at the hedged amount as well. But what you can do is this button here shows you your hedged amount anyway. So if you're trading in and out of the market, then this will actually allow you to exit in one go at whatever the prevailing profit is that you've got across this entire market. So if we look at Sleeping Star, the price went out and now it's come all the way back in again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a trade by clicking on here, and I've cocked that up again. Bollocks. How many